Today we are testing out the latest Tesla refrigeration model from Teamy sent to me by a company called Tilliard. This video is sponsored by Tilliard, but as always, everything you're about to see is based on my real observations. No outside influences. Now, if you remember, about 2 years ago, we reviewed the previous model of this fridge. That video got a ton of attention and a lot of you picked it up and had great things to say about it. Today we're checking out the latest version. I'll show you what's changed, get it installed, and give it a proper test. Let's start with a quick unboxing. You get an instruction booklet and installation guide, a refrigeration unit, which is the top portion, and a base unit, which is the bottom portion, an organization rack, waterproof bin, and vented bin, the hardware for connecting the two units, and of course a microfiber cloth. Now there's quite a few changes between this model and the previous model, however, I'm just going to talk about the three larger ones that I think are of note. First is a larger capacity. Now you have 16 liters, which is 1 liter more than the old model. Both models claim they can fit 20 cans, but the new one does it easier depending on the can size. And I will mention that when they say 24 cans, they're not referring to 12-ounce cans. Probably the biggest update is you get more cooling power. The old model bottomed out at 23 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 5 degrees Celsius. The new one can hit negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 20 degrees Celsius. That's a huge upgrade. You can now transport frozen items like popsicles without worrying about them melting. The new one does have a different look to it. On the front, the ventilation is a little bit more modern looking, and the OEM fitment they claim is a little better with this one, but honestly, I felt they both fit well, both the new and the old. I didn't really notice a huge difference here. Now let's dive into the installation. This installs on the side of the trunk with the 12-volt plug. Start by lifting the trunk floor to make room. The top unit connects to the bottom via a male-female cutout. You'll use the two T connectors to fasten them together. You do this by placing them through both layers, twist them into place, and cover them with a metal plate. There's Velcro that wraps around the sides and back, giving it a snug, secure fit, but expect to use a little muscle to get it lined up perfectly. It was a bit tricky getting the cutouts to slide into place because of the Velcro grabbing early, but by opening the fridge door and pushing firmly on the sides and the back, I was able to slide into place fairly easy. Now let's talk about the operation of the fridge. The new unit uses a control knob instead of the old touchscreen. The knob feels smooth but has a bit of a plastic on plastic feel. You don't get that satisfying click like you might expect on a high-end product, which in my opinion this is. It's a small thing though, you won't be adjusting it often. The click when you press it feels solid, and the LED lights are bright and clear. To turn it on, you press and hold the knob for 3 seconds, which is the same for turning it off. You can also control it through the phone app. Surprisingly, the app connects instantly and actually feels polished, not like an afterthought. Through the app, you can switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit, see current fridge temperatures, manually adjust temperatures, choose preset modes like Eco, Refrigerate, and Colder. And if you scroll down, you get a description of what each of those modes does and the presets. You can power off the fridge as well as check for firmware information. Now let's talk about the power draw. Since Tesla shuts off accessory outlets when the car sleeps, you'll need to use Sentry mode or camping mode if you want to leave the fridge running. And if you're worried about running down the battery and not being able to get back in your car and drive home, don't worry, Sentry mode automatically shuts off at 20% battery to avoid leaving you stranded, which of course means so will the fridge. As for the power usage, well, not listed on their site, similar models pull about 45 watts while running. That translates into 0.0045 kilowatt hours per hour, or roughly 1.44% of a 75 kilowatt hour Tesla battery if you ran it for a full 24 hours. So what actually fits inside of this fridge? I'm not going to waste too much time here. The fridge is perfect for lunches and drinks, not a week's worth of groceries. It easily fit 5 17-ounce water bottles with room to spare. Big containers like Tupperware or giant jars of mayo, not gonna happen, and honestly, this fridge wasn't built for that. But if you're on a road trip and want to keep some drinks cool, or some sandwiches in there for the kids, or even maybe your lunch, this definitely does the job. So the question I have to ask myself anytime I review a product like this is, why does somebody buy this fridge versus a cheap, small one you could find on Amazon for a fraction of the price? I think the buyer of this fridge is someone who does not want to use up any of the already limited space in the trunk, yet still wants the ability to have the use of a refrigeration unit. I think somebody willing to invest in a fridge like this is somebody who appreciates the OEM design and having it built specifically into your own Tesla rather than just throwing a cooler in the back of your trunk. Maybe you're someone that takes your kids to the park often, you live in a warm environment, and you want to bring some treats for them like frozen popsicles or ice cream. Well, this could be a good option. The only catch is you got to make sure when you use a fridge like this that it's already to the temperature you need before you put your food in. But at the end of the day, this is exactly what it looks like. It is a fridge that fits into the cubby in the back of your Model Y. So let me know what you think about this one. And if you want to pick one of these up, I'll leave the link as well as my discount code down below in the description. See you all on the next one.